Ladies and gents, we are live. Oh boy, it's been a while. It's been a while. I am shitting myself. I have not live streamed in over a year. And I am shitting myself. True story, I've rehearsed this live stream 3 times and I still don't feel ready. Oh man. A week ago I started thinking about doing this when I saw we'd hit 6k. Well, I think we hit 6k the weekend before last. And the plan before, actually, was I was going to do a thank you live stream when I hit 5k, but then I procrastinated on it so much and so much time passed that by the time I'd gotten around to, like, you know, I'd worked up the balls to do it, we were kind of nearly at 6k. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of wait till we hit 6. And then that happened, like, much sooner than I thought it would. Like, much, much sooner. So here we are. Here we are at 6k subs. Welcome to the stream. I'm just going to fanny about for a couple of minutes whilst we wait for everybody to tune in, and then we'll crack on. Put together a nice little agenda for us. See that? Down there. So that's the plan for this evening. If you guys want to ask me anything, chat about anything, I'm going to have a section where I just answer questions later on, probably towards the end, so just chat shit at me in the chat down below. Or shout abuse, also welcome. K subs, huh? That happened a lot faster than I thought it would. I mean, I don't know, like, thankfully my expectations for the channel were really quite low. I mean, I didn't think anybody would watch it, so the fact anybody has is like, you know, I'm winning. I'm making money. I'm in profit straight away there. So I'm playing my Legato 7-string, what is it, Legato N7 Black Ice, this guitar. I thought I would play some 7-string because even though 7-string is my preferred instrument, I've actually been playing exclusively 6-string for a few months now, which is kind of weird because, like I said, 7-string is my jam. That's like my preferred sound. But I've just been doing so many reviews of 6-string guitars, and I've been writing a whole bunch of stuff on 6-string as well that I haven't touched the 7-string in a little while, so you will have to excuse my rustiness. I'm just gonna tweak this light a little bit, hopefully not bring the whole bloody thing down. Is that better? Looking a little bit dark. I do like it dark, but not that dark. You kind of need to be able to see me. Ideally. I mean, let's have a look. Oh. There we go. Let's try that. Let's try that. There we go. There's Jimmy. There's that same stupid face I've been looking at for 35 years. Isn't it amazing how the Kemper is like 10 years old and it still sounds this good? I'm going through my Kemper rack at the minute. I did think about going through my Headrush, but I haven't used it in a while. I tend to use Headrush like exclusively for recording, and then, as weird as it sounds, I use the Kemper just for having fun, jamming, pissing around with sounds and stuff. So, excuse me, I thought I would use the Kemper. I got a couple of nice patches loaded. This is like a piezo simulator, so there's no amplifier sound. It's just a piezo, like acoustic simulator with some EQ and a shitload of effects on it. And then we've got the Tone Wars EVH Stealth Rhythm Profile. Oh, Jared, happy 6K, my guy. Thank you so much, my friend. What do we think? Do we think I've pissed around long enough now? Shall I actually crack on with the schedule that I so neatly put together? That thing there. Thanks so much for the donor, my friend. Really appreciate it. That's tomorrow's coffee paid for. So, I'll be totally honest with you guys, right? Obviously, the first thing I want to cover is I want to thank everyone for getting me here, getting me to 6,000 subs, which is fucking unbelievable. Let me think. I mean, I guess it's not important, the exact timescale, but a few months ago, maybe like 3-4 months ago, I kind of hit like a point with my YouTube, and I was talking to a friend of mine about this, where I just felt like I either wanted to quit it or sort of go all in. Like I wanted to, I don't know, like jack it in or just go balls out on it, man. Yeah, I came very, very close to not doing the YouTube anymore. Not because I'm not enjoying it, not because I don't really like appreciate and take on board, like take to heart the support everybody gives me on the channel. But like a lot has happened in the past 2 years of my life. I've lost like a lot of people close to me, friends, family, just I've been through a horrendous series of losses, and when that happens, you sort of like, I don't know, you feel like it's your duty as somebody still alive and still here to like get your shit together, you know, because I don't know, I sort of feel like I'm doing a disservice to the people who aren't here anymore if I don't do that. So I kind of was assessing everything I'm doing with my time and kind of trying to strip away anything that I don't think is like going anywhere or anything like that. I don't know, anything that I don't feel like I'm doing 100%. And the YouTube is like, when I do it, hopefully it comes across this way. When I do it as well as I can possibly do it. When I make a video, I fucking try and make it as perfect and as brilliant and as as spot on as I can. And that does unfortunately mean that I don't put out content as often as I would like, and probably you guys would like. But what it also means is that like I don't have like a regular schedule for releasing videos. My schedule for releasing videos is release them as often as you can. Like as soon as a video's done, I don't sit on it or do the premiere thing, you know, where you can see it's there, but you can't watch it for 2 days. I don't do any of that. I just kick it out as fast as I can, because I know that's what you guys want ultimately. So I did reach a point a few months ago where I thought, I just feel like I'm kind of half pregnant on this YouTube thing, and like I don't really want to feel that way about anything I'm doing in my life. So I kind of nearly stopped doing it. But here's the thing, here's the point I'm getting to. I know this is kind of long-winded, but here's the point I'm getting to, right? I'm a small channel, I'm growing with the kind support of people like yourselves, like Jared and everyone else who like comments and supports the channel. But I am a small channel that's growing, and the one thing that has kept me going, the one thing that made me decide to carry on, is the comments you people have made on my videos. Nothing else. Okay? So when I was considering what to do, I was going back and looking at what I had done, you know, to kind of take a bird's eye view of it. And I got reading the comments on each video, and it was like overwhelming. It was too much. Like I had to stop doing it because I just, you know, it was like my emotional well was filling up, and I was like, all right, that's enough. But really, honestly, it was like people have taken time out of their day to write things like, oh, I don't know, like this isn't the case, but our best guitar reviews on YouTube, my favorite YouTuber, love what you do, all this, like anything like that, like all those comments, they are why I'm still here doing YouTube. Not the numbers of views or subscribers, not the nothing, okay? Certainly not the money, let's put it that way. The one reason I'm still here doing this is because of people that have taken time out of their day to leave comments like that under my videos. And trust me, I know in this day and age that just because you enjoy a piece of content doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna leave a comment or anything like that. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like I follow loads of small YouTubers, and some of them, I fucking love their content. I've never left a single comment on any of their videos, even though I really should. So I know how much of a rare thing it is, and I know what it takes to get someone to leave a comment under the video. So it's purely because so many of you have left comments like that that's fueled me to keep going with this thing, because I just think, well, I don't know, something must be okay. Do you know what I mean? Because like, it can't be some conspiracy, you know, like it can't be some like people are just saying it for sympathy, or, you know, like it's bots or something, you know, like hot babes here or some shit like that. Like there has to be something that I'm doing that's striking a chord with people, you know, or you know, there's got to be something in it, right? So I just want to say I am so grateful for every single view, comment. You know, I mean, even the comments that aren't positive, you know, you're still watching my stuff and engaging with me. So I'm still grateful for that. But I just want to say, like, you know, now that we're here at 6,000 subs, I am going to keep going with the channel as much as I possibly can. I'm going to kick out content as regularly as I can. Like I said, as soon as a video's done, out the door it goes. And it's because of you people. So, you know, the next time you're going to feel like, you don't make a difference, or you feel isolated or something, like it's really easy to feel that way these days, just remember that your little tapping into the keyboard on your phone or whatever has made a huge difference to like the way I feel and the things I'm doing with my time. You know, it makes a massive difference. So I just really wanted to say that to all of you. Here I still am pissing around with guitars, and it's because of you guys. Jared, is it better to donate on the site you put in your description? Not sure how much YouTube milks these donations. either is fine. Either is much appreciated, Jared, because they're similar. There's like a fee taken, but it's like they're all pretty much the same. Jared, your content's awesome, for real. Love your vids, bro. The effort in the camera work doesn't go unappreciated. I dig the vibes. Like the synthy type, I mean, it sounds... Thank you, mate, appreciate that. I mean, I've kind of painted myself into a bit of a corner here, haven't I, with doing this YouTube thing. Because my day job is I run a film production business. So my day job is creating commercials, shooting events, doing live streams. I've made a bunch of films, documentaries. And so if my YouTube is not up to snuff production-wise, it's kind of a poor reflection on on my business, on the thing that like pays the bills. So I've stitched myself up a little bit there because I would love to be, I fantasize about being one of these channels that like shoots it all on an iPhone. You know what I mean, or something like that. I think, fucking hell, that must be so nice, just so easy. But you know, I think I'm getting there with it. I'm getting there with like having a sustainable way of making videos to a high standard. I do have an editor who edits probably over half of my content for me now, called Matt. Matt's someone I've worked with for years. Shout out to Matt if you're watching this. Fantastic guy, absolutely shit hot editor, really knows his stuff. If any of you are looking for a video editor, hit me up, but if I can't do it, I'll send you on to Matt, because he is shit hot. So, yeah, I'm getting there with it. I'm getting there. You know, I think that there's such a constant balancing act with YouTube between the quality and the quantity of the content. You know, you're trying to maintain a certain standard, because I do think that's probably one of the reasons people watch my stuff, is because it's fairly well shot, if I do say so myself. But you're also trying to get videos out regularly. I mean, do you have any idea how much I agonized over whether to do unboxing videos? Because, like, very honestly, I don't particularly like unboxing videos. I don't mind them if they're part of a longer video, but I do find them a bit, I don't know, like what you see unboxing videos of like mobile phones and you're just like, who gives a fuck? It's just a phone in a cardboard box. There's like a cable in there, brilliant. I don't care. Like, but I guess with guitars it is better, you know, because it's like a whole, it's exciting taking a guitar out of the box and it's a big thing, you know, so maybe it's better. But anyway, I agonized over whether to do unboxing videos and like simpler content like that. That's why when I put the first one out, I don't know if you saw, I made a point of saying, what do you guys think about this? Do you like this stuff? You know, do you want to see more of this? Like, I really listened to what you guys had to say, because if you'd have said, no, this is dog shit, I wouldn't have done it anymore. Honestly, you've got to give the people what they want. But so yeah, I'm getting there with it. I'm getting there with it. Shout out to people like Matt, who really helped me out. You know, it comes out of my own pocket, him doing the editing, but he really looks after me on the cost and all that, because we've known each other so long. So we've got a good thing going there. It keeps you on your toes. It fucking certainly does, my friend, I tell you. Matt is the man. Matt certainly is the man. Spartan Laser, hi, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So I think that that ticks off the subscriber thank you. So I think maybe what I'll do is I will kind of tick these off as I go along. So anybody tuning in, they kind of know, they know where we're at with things. Subscriber thank you. Done. On to the next topic. Current guitars and plans. What's the saying? A man makes plans and God laughs, or something like that. Fuck me, is that true? Oh boy, is that true. So current guitars, well, like I said, like I mostly am playing, I like to play mostly 7-string. That's what I like to play. I play this weird tuning, which is drop A on the bottom, but the top 3 strings are G flat, and then two, count them, 2 Bs on the top. So the 2 top strings, they're exactly the same. So that enables me to have a drone, basically. It's like an open tuning type deal. So you can have sounds where you're playing like a straightforward drop power chord on the bottom, but at the same time you can have a drone going on with the top 3 strings, like. So I just, like, to me, that's like a fucking really inspiring, weird sound. I found that tuning on a Deftones forum. Somebody said, like, oh, here's a list of, like, tunings that Deftone use, and it looked like a fucking alphabet, you know what I mean? It's all over the shop. And when I first bought a 7-string guitar, that was the first tuning I tried, because I thought, oh, just something about playing standard on 7 strings, just, I don't know, just didn't seem that appealing to me. So that was the first tuning I tried, fell in love with it straight away, wrote a whole bunch of songs in it. So then at that point I'm committed, especially when I've like recorded 2 songs in that tuning. It's like, oh, I'm in now, that's it. I'm in for a penny. Because then obviously my bass player, Rich, he's got to have a bass set up and intonated for that tuning. So it's like we're away we go now. So in terms of my current guitars, we have this puppy. That's guitar number 1. We have then, because I'm a sensible guy, exactly the same guitar in a different finish. Completely pointlessly. No reason at all for me to own this other than I just love the way it looks. I absolutely adore this thing, and I spend a stupid amount of time just admiring it as I walk past it. I will play it when I don't feel like playing guitar just because I love the way it looks so much. So this is a Legato N7 again, but this is the X version, so it's like the top of the range is neck through. The white one I just put down is bolt on with a roasted maple neck. This thing, I'll be totally honest with you, this does not sound anywhere near as good as this. It kills me to say that because I love the way this thing looks. This is my favorite looking out of any guitar I own. But this thing, this is the best sounding guitar I own. I don't know exactly why that is. It's probably down to a combination of like the fact it's a bolt on, it has a roasted maple neck. It's built just phenomenally well. I don't know, but that thing sounds amazing, and I think makes my playing sound better. You know, and I need all the help I can get on that front. But this thing is stunning. It does sound just a bit dark and a bit muddy for my tastes, like a lot of neck-through guitars do. It's a mahogany body with a burl top. It's very dark sounding in the way that you, in my opinion, don't really want a 7-string to be. So I have plans though, all right? I'm gonna try and fix the issue with this thing sounding really dark. I've got some plans. Pickups are getting changed. I'm gonna change the nut for probably a bone nut, because I've been researching this, and apparently bone nuts, that's like the brightest possible sounding nut you can have on a guitar. So I've read online. So that could be complete bollocks, but I think it's worth a try. So soon this is going off to Phil at Bristol Guitar Tech, who's a phenomenal guitar repair luthier type dude. If you're in the southwest Bristol area, he's amazing. And hopefully it's going to come back just with a little bit less muddiness, just a bit less. And when I do get around to doing that, I've got all the bits for it now. I'm going to do a video, like a before and after type thing. So we'll find out. You remind me how much I hate reaction videos with that of the unboxing. So, dude, how you doing, man? Calamity. Yeah, I think they can be done well. You know, like I think there's a combination of the product, the way you do it, like the way you shoot it, I think they can be done, but I just think most of them out there are just like filler content, you know what I mean? Just easy, mostly pointless, you know, like that's what I think. So leave it with me. I will keep working at the unboxing videos, and I will try and make them like, I'll put the Jimmy spin on it as best I can, all right? So leave that one with me. Jared, I played one of those N7 Ruby ones in a Guitar Center and it ripped. Couldn't justify the price, but it definitely made me a Legato man. Mate, they're some of the best guitars I've played, like at any price point. I know Legato, if you Google them, you're gonna find horror stories of like bad ones. But now, like right now, I think they're some of the best guitars you can get, just at any price, right? They just, you know, anything over sort of 700-800 quid comes with a gig bag, number one, so straight away you've won me over, because no fucker includes a gig bag these days. It's really annoying. The bodies are just exceptionally thin. The designs are really unique. That's a big thing that appeals to me. I'm really not going to get excited over the millionth version of like a Les Paul or a Strat or a Telecaster, all right? I'm just gonna, it's just, right, do something fresh. And Legato's colors and finishes and that are just fucking crazy. I absolutely love them. I've got 4 of them. So let's crack on and we'll look at guitar number 3, which is Legato N8. I think this is called Arctic Burst, I think. Can't remember. Something like that. But I mean, look at this animal. There is a full review of this guitar on the channel from when I first got it. This was the first 8-string that I bought. And I bought it having never played an 8-string before, which was kind of stupid, but it was COVID, we were in lockdown, you know, we were all suffering and trying to find things to do with our lives and trying to find distractions from the fact that the world was just on its ass. So that's my justification for buying an 8-string completely blind. This thing is fucking awesome. It's so light and thin. I mean, it weighs just absolutely nothing. You know, like I've played an ESP-LTD 8-string and it was fucking just like a spine buster. Like it was so thick and heavy, and I just thought, God, like it either needs to be chambered or just they need to shave like, you know, a ½ inch off of the thickness of the body. It was just ridiculous. This is also set up in a really weird open tuning. You guys hear that? Because I just can't write or play anything in standard. That's just how I roll. So if we look at the 4th Legato, the 4th and final, the penultimate Legato, this is my 6-string N6 in, this isn't Ruby, this is something else. Amethyst, I think this is. Again, there's a full review of this on the channel, where I just absolutely just, you know, raved about this thing, and I got accused of being like paid to do it, or like people said I was like a Legato endorsee. I wasn't at all. I just really liked this guitar. So again, this is the X series. It's a neck through. Again, this one has a similar issue to the Ruby N7 in that it sounds slightly dark in a way I don't really like, but it's not that bad on this. I think it's just because it's a 6-string, it's not an extended range guitar, so you've not got that problem with like muddiness in the mids. Totally sick guitar. Again, like kind of like it's a toss-up between this and the Ruby N7 as to my favorite looking out of my guitars. It's currently got a broken string. That's guitar number 4. So you can look in the chat. I really enjoyed your EC1000 video. You said the Les Paul shape is not your favorite, but you liked the EC1000. Do you still have it? Do you know what? That EC1000, I did keep it for quite a while. I only got rid of that maybe 2 weeks ago, like not long ago. And that's a big thing for me, because like I said in the video, I just, historically, I really don't like single cuts. And I had that guitar for a little while before I got round to editing the video content for it. It's a great guitar, really good. Jared, I agree, I love my Ghost 8 and N8. They're so fast and the necks are the best I've played. Stock pickups are decent enough not to swap out to. Yeah, I've heard they're good. I've never played the Legatus stock pickups, the Hive ones. All the ones I've got came with Fisherman's, but I've heard they're good as well. So let's look at guitar number 5. This is the only solar guitar I now own. I've owned a few solars. They've all been sold on, gone by the wayside, apart from this one. Mostly because I've spent a fortune having this thing modded. I fucking just made this thing a money pit that is kind of like, I can never justify really selling it now. So I've modded it with Seymour Duncan Retribution pickups, which are the signature pickups of Dino from Fear Factory. They are incredible pickups. They're my favorite 7-string pickups. Quite hard to get hold of now. I've got a set up there just hanging around just because I thought I'm going to buy them now because I think they're out of production or going out of production quite soon. This guitar has a red Tessie LED kill switch as well. So in order to have that installed, I've had the tone pot removed. And in its place is the red kill switch. I'll plug it in for you quickly. Sorry about the noise. So there we go. Looks cool, right? Evertune bridge, Solar A1.7 this is, I think. A1.7, trans blood red. I haven't played this in months and it's still in tune. Evertune's just the most mad. Wow, yeah, that is mental. This thing plays really, really nice. Really nice. There's just something about Solar's like ergonomics are just shit hot. Like the neck profile, the contours of the body, they just do a really good job. It does have the usual like Solar issues of like dodgy fret ends and the logo started to peel off the headstock. Standard Solar guitars ownership things. So like I said, I've plowed so much money into this guitar, I just couldn't possibly justify selling it now. I do a lot of recording with this guitar, a lot of recording, just because the Evertune bridge makes it so easy. And we're on to guitar number 6. Jesus, I got problems, man. And this is the Schecter C1 SLS Elite Black Fade Burst with Evertune bridge. The longest name ever. Again, there's a full review of this guitar on the channel from when I first got it. I got this guitar in COVID lockdown. Again, this has been heavily modified, so I can never sell it because I'm so far into it financially, it just won't make sense. So this guitar is not available with an Evertune bridge. I sent off to have this fitted. It was fitted by a company called Shuka Guitars in the UK. They did a fantastic job. I had to ship it to them and then they shipped it back. It was done really fast. It was done in like 4 days, 3-4 days, like mad quick turnaround. So it's had the Evertune bridge installed. It's had the stock Fishman Fluence pickups swapped for EMG 5766, which are my favorite 6-string pickups. And this is like just a recording weapon, basically. So anything 6-string I record with this, it just sounds perfect really for recording. You know, never mind the Evertune bridge. These pickups, to me, just give you all the frequencies you want and none of the frequencies you don't want, in my opinion. I think they just sound really nicely balanced, nice high-end roll-off. Yeah, this thing is completely filthy and dusty and I need to clean it. Okay, guitar number 6 is the BC Rich Shredzilla. Full review of this on the channel. I did that video, the video on this guitar, with the angle of like, you know, BC Rich is back. Oh, the guitars are amazing, because BC Rich had just been completely down the pan for like a few years. You know, they'd been putting out like crappy, cheap, you know, like beginner stuff, and out of nowhere they got bought out again for like the umpteenth time, and they started making nice, like proper nice stuff like this. I mean, look at that. This thing is just like, it's a peacock guitar, you know? There's nothing subtle about this whatsoever. And that is just so BC Rich. That is exactly what BC Rich is all about. There is so much abalone on this that I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna take it a step even further. I'm gonna replace the volume pot with an abalone knob. So there's abalone on top of abalone. Abalone? Abalone? Is that how you say it? I don't know. So yeah, let's see if we can show you that. Yeah, she is. So any of you out there who dislike abalone on a guitar, abalone, I don't know how you say it, bologna, pepperami, salami, yeah, tough. And finally, guitar number 7, which just, this isn't getting kept, this is just in for review at the minute. We have the Chapman ML3. There is a video coming out on this guitar next week. Should be done for Tuesday. There's a cut just been done of it, I think, today. This isn't something I would keep for myself, but without spoiling the review too much, for the money, it's pretty shit hot, I gotta be honest. I mean, this is under 500 quid. Proper Seymour Duncan Sentient Pegasus pickups, nice top, okay build quality, you know, like, what do you want? What more could you possibly ask for? Now, I know some people are not overly keen on the Chapman brand, and when I put the unboxing up of that guitar, you kind of commented as much. So in that upcoming review of that guitar, I talk a little bit about kind of the dangers of being a YouTube star and putting your name on the headstock of a guitar, which is a problem hopefully I have one day. I don't know. I don't know if I were to do it, to be honest, but you're playing with fire a little bit there, aren't you? By being a famous YouTuber and putting your name on the headstock of a guitar. If somebody gets a shit guitar, they're coming after you personally over it. They're not going to write an email to the complaints department. They're going to go on social media or YouTube, and they're going to let you know that you've sold them a shit guitar. That's just the way these things work, I'm afraid. You live by the sword, you get abused by the sword. Just wanted to drop in and say thanks for the videos, dude. I really enjoy your content, really pleased that your channel is growing, always really informative and insightful. Keep it up. From Ash, oh, I'm gonna mess your name up, Ash Parek 1992. Thank you, my friend, appreciate it. Spot and Laser, I agree, really good videos. Thanks, man, really appreciate that. Rise and Corp, I love your videos. Thank you, sir. That's a sexy guitar. Which one? Which one? Don't say the Chapman, because that's not staying. And you can say that about anyone but the Chapman. All right. So future plans. So I've covered my current guitars and plans. Sorry, no, I've covered my current guitars. Plans are, I mean, look, I'll be totally straight with you guys. As much as I love 7-string, and 7-string is my home, that's like where I live basically, the reality is that as someone who's trying to grow a YouTube channel, it's not really in my interest to do 7-string guitar reviews, because most people play a 6-string, right? So it's a tricky one, right? Because, you know, YouTube, what is it they say about YouTube? It's like the world's biggest search engine. So people are thinking of buying a guitar, they search YouTube for it, yeah? And I guess the game I'm trying to play is I want to be the person that comes up when you search for that guitar, you know, whether you own it or you're thinking of owning it or something like that, yeah? And so the facts are there's just nowhere near as many people out there looking to buy a 7-string guitar as there are a 6-string guitar. So you're going to see mostly 6-string guitars on the channel for the foreseeable, certainly while I'm trying to grow it anyway. You know, if and when I get into the position where I'm somebody with a big following, I mean, that'd be great, because I can just do whatever the fuck I want, more or less. But whilst I'm trying to grow the channel, I have to play the game. You have to play the game as long as you're in it. And that game looks like reviewing 6-string guitars, mostly affordable guitars, like at the very least, like mid-range, you know, 500-600 quid type, a max, maybe a bit more, like, because again, most people have not got 1K plus to just blow on a guitar. I do want to do more reviews of modeling units because they seem to go down really well. If you look at some of the hits I've had, or, you know, the videos that have done well, a lot of them are based around modelers like the Head Rush, the Boss, that type of thing. So I'm definitely getting more affordable modeling units in for review because you guys seem to really like those reviews. The unfortunate part of reviewing modeling products is it's fucking loads of work. Like, it's way more work than reviewing a guitar, because even on a cheap basic guitar modeler these days, you have hundreds of options, like dozens of amps, effects, all sorts of stuff you can do, which is amazing. But from my point of view, it's like, in order to call something a review, you don't have to have reviewed every possible feature of it, but you need to like have sampled, you know, most of what it can offer. So they are a pain, they are more work to review modeling stuff, but I am going to keep doing it because you guys seem to really like that content. I mean, I enjoy doing it because I get to sit down and do my favorite type of guitar playing, which is messing around. Just, you know what I mean? What happens if I put that pedal there? What happens if I do this? Just pissing about. That's my favorite kind of guitar playing, really. So I enjoy doing it. I haven't done any videos with like free downloads or anything in a while, you know, like I do patches for Head Rush and stuff, so I'm definitely going to do some more of that, because again, that seems to go down quite well. But going back to what I said at the start of the stream about how much your comments kind of like fuel me, if there is stuff you want to see on the channel, just say. Please put it in the comments, because I try, and I think I still do at this stage. I read every single comment, everything on any of my videos. Even if you're commenting on a video from a year ago, at this point in time, I read everything. So if there's stuff you want to see, let me know, and there's a good chance I'll do it if I can, you know. The BC Rich, definitely. The thing about that guitar is it's like, I mean, like I said, it's a peacock guitar, the BC Rich, but somehow it looks even better in person than it does in pictures. I know that sounds a bit weird. There's just so much depth to the top on it. And, you know, you like, it's so blingy with the abalone. Obviously, the light catches the abalone sometimes. And, you know, if you were on stage, I mean, that thing would just look the absolute business, wouldn't it? Under stage lighting. So, current guitars and plans. Let's tick that off the list. That is the plan. If there's anything you guys want to see on the channel, like I said, just let me know. I'll see what I can do. My five must-see films, right? I thought, I don't know, some, like my mates were saying the other day, I was chatting to them about the channel, and they were saying like, YouTube channels they follow, they like to get to know more about the person, you know, like they like to see behind the scenes stuff or more about like that person's life outside of YouTube. So I thought I'd start maybe branching out into doing stuff like that, maybe, like, because I've noticed YouTube has started doing shorts. So I was thinking maybe I could do content for shorts, which is like behind the scenes stuff of making videos both for YouTube and in my day job. And just like, you know, like random things from my life, I don't know. So kind of in keeping with that theme, I thought as part of this live stream, we could do my 5 must-see films. Or 5 films I think everyone should see, like regardless of their taste, you know, like regardless of what you're mostly into. Obviously, like filmmaking is my day job, so I could sit here and talk about films for hours with you guys. I could do a stream just on that, potentially, you know. So you actually announced it right. Did I get your name right? But I'm not going to try again because I'll get it wrong. But I'm glad I got your name right. I'm looking to buy a 7 soon. Rising Corp. Which one? Anything take your fancy? Hendrix had only 6. Hendrix was a fucking alien. You can't compare. You can't. Hendrix could have had 1 string and he would have been amazing. Hendrix was not human. Hendrix was one of 2 things, right? Hendrix was either an alien or a time traveler from the future. Because you look at everything else that was out at the time Hendrix was doing what he was doing, and it was so far like beyond, it was so ahead of the curve. There's just no way, man. I don't know. Hendrix is just like, he's not even human. It's just, yeah. Don't even get me started. Not related to guitar, but I'm from the US. So do you think we have weird accents, or do we sound pretty normal? And be honest, because I think some of us sound goofy as fuck. Oh, I gotta be careful what I say here. Look, I'll be totally straight with you, right? Obviously, I'm from the UK, and I'm not saying this is my opinion, but in the UK, there is this perception that Americans are a little bit dumb. I'm not saying you guys are. I'm saying that we in the UK like to see ourselves as like the intellectual counterparts to our American cousins, you know? Like, there's this whole thing of like the Yank, all that kind of thing, you know? It's not fair at all, by the way. Because I've been to the States and I've met lots of American people and none of them were like that at all. No, not really. I mean, like, you know, you guys' accents are most of what we're used to culturally. Like, you know, all the coolest films growing up, you know, it was American people, and I think like this, you know, the Southern American accent, like the, you know, the Louisiana, New Orleans kind of, that, like Texas, like that Southern American accent, I find that quite hot on like a woman, I'll be honest. I had this discussion with my girlfriend. I find that quite attractive, I don't know why. So that's my take on that. read into that what you will, but that's the honest answer to that question. Calamity, yeah, keep those MX5 patches going. I see I used some of those as a starting point to dissect and modify to understand what was going on when I had no idea. Oh, excellent. Really glad to hear that, because that's what they're for. That's what they're for. That's like ideal, really. It's like they're a good starting point. That's definitely what I want people to be doing with the patches I put up. You know, like, if you download them, use them, and you like the sound, that's brilliant. But if it's inspiring you to be creative and make your own patches, then that's awesome. That's I'm really, really glad to hear that. Okay, so 5 must-see films, right? Let's do this. Let's do this. So I agonized over this right? These are by no means my top 5, right? These are in no particular order, okay? Because I don't want to be cornered into trying to pick, like, you know, which is better and all that, right? These are just 5 films I think no matter what your taste in movies, you need to see these 5 films, all right? So, I've made a little list on IMDb. Let me see if I can get it up. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You guys all see that okay? Let's move it over just so the chat's not in the way. I'm just going to rearrange everything. Let's put that there. And let's put that here. First film, Zero Dark 30. This is the first of 5 films I think everybody should see at some point, okay? I remember seeing this in the cinema when it came out, and it was the quietest cinema I have ever sat in for a film, and it was packed. It was opening weekend of this film. It was fucking rammed. Every seat was sold out, and from the opening scene, which if you've seen this film you will know is really quite unpleasant and hard hitting, the cinema was like pin drop silent right up until the end of the film. It was that tense, and just the reason I picked this film is because I'm of an age where I lived through 9/11 and I watched it happen on telly, on the news. I watched the second plane and all that. And I think this film does such a good job of capturing the mood of a post 9/11 world, right? The kind of paranoia, the tension, the nihilism, everything. To me, this film is like watching a documentary crew just following what happened at that time. That's how good this film is. So I think you need to see this film almost as like a historical document. It's, you know what I mean? It's almost like a history lesson. That's kind of how you should approach this movie. Amazing film, amazing film. Gotta see it. So that's film number 1. Next up, I, Tonya. Bit of a weird choice. Maybe you guys might not expect this. So this is a film about Tonya Harding, the figure skater. It's her life story. If you don't know, Tonya Harding was a famous Olympic figure skater who was caught up in a massive scandal when somebody, and it's up for debate who that somebody was to this very day, they broke the leg of her competitor, thus putting her out of the competition. Now that doesn't sound like the makings of a great film, right? But this film is so well acted. This has some of the best acting I've seen in any film. And I'm not just talking about the lead, I'm talking about the whole cast. Her mother, her boyfriend. It's tragically funny, it's really hilarious in places, but it's also really sad, it's really like relatable. For those of you who've ever struggled with your relationship with your parents or anything like that, it's just like, it's so on the nail, like it's just hits the nail on the head for that type of thing. So I think in terms of a film about like family dynamics and what competitive drive does to a person, it's brilliant. I don't know why I come back to this film time and time again, and I still find it funny. Next up, number 3, we have The Big Short. This is a film, this is a comedy, but again, much like Zero Dark 30, it's almost like a historical document. It's almost like you have to watch it just so you're aware of what went down. So this is a film about the 2007 financial crisis. If you remember, all the banks just fucking fell apart. Everyone's mortgages became unaffordable overnight. You know, like, we were told that the financial system would be decimated for decades to come. I mean, luckily it wasn't quite that bad. So this film is about how that happened, and it does a brilliant job of explaining how that happened, because the reasons behind it are very complex, but it makes them really clear and understandable. But I just think, and it's really funny, this film is properly funny. I'm the type of person where it's really difficult to get me to laugh at a movie. I don't know why. I'm quite hard to please. But this film just made me burst out laughing loads of times when I first saw it. So I think everyone needs to see The Big Short just to understand how little you matter to the big banks, right? How much they are in charge, and they would fuck you over for another $5 in their bank account tomorrow. All right? Number 3, Big Short. Number 4, Blade Runner. I mean, where do I start with Blade Runner? Just look at it. Look at it. I'd probably say there is no film that has had a bigger influence on me as a filmmaker than Blade Runner. I owe so much of my creativity and filmmaking and lighting choices and everything to Blade Runner. I've seen the film probably at least 100 times, like a lot of times. But it's a film that is like, you could watch it with the sound off and you'd have an amazing experience. The fact that if you turn the sound on, it has one of the most beautiful soundtracks ever made by Vangelis. It's just an absolute unicorn of a film, beautifully directed by Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott directed this film in the wake of having just lost his brother. And you can really tell this was directed by somebody who was grieving at the time, because the noir elements of it are just so tragically beautiful. There's a sadness to it, but a kind of a beauty in the sadness, you know? Blade Runner is like, you know, I've watched it 100 times. I could go watch it another 100 times now. If you don't click with it on the first watch, don't worry, because I didn't really. I watched it and I appreciated its beauty, but I thought, it's a bit unclear what's going on. The plot's a little bit convoluted. The midsection of the film is a little bit bloated. But I would say come back to it, give it another chance, leave it for a couple of years or whatever. Because once the story really clicks with you and you really get what it's getting at in terms of basic questions about what makes us human, what makes us conscious, what's the meaning of life, how long should life be? You know, I think there isn't a film that does a better job of asking those big questions, and there isn't a film to me that does it in a more beautiful way than Blade Runner. The effects are unbelievable for 1982. The cityscapes, the aerial shots, I fucking am astounded at what they did 40 plus years ago visually with that film. Make sure you watch the final cut. There's a couple of versions of Blade Runner out there, but the final cut is the definitive version of the film. It's fully restored. Ridley Scott himself signed off on it. Number 4, Blade Runner. Enough said. Number 5. Final film of my 5 must-see films. Again, maybe an unexpected choice, but another Ridley Scott film, Thelma and Louise. Now, this film is a road... Two. I just turned my mic off, sorry. This film is a road movie about two girls who get into basically a really shit situation and end up on the run from the law. And they go on the run across, I think it's either Arizona or Nevada, one of the two, I think. Now, this film over the years has been accused of being like a feminist, chick flicky, kind of down with men kind of deal, you know? Like, I think when it came out in 91, the press reviewed it as this like man-hating kind of overly feminist, like, I personally have never seen it that way. I've never seen it that way at all. To me, it's the perfect film about friendship. And there are so many dynamics to the two female leads' relationship that if you've ever had a best friend of any kind, you can definitely relate to it. Like, there's always, one of you's always the crazy one, and one of you's always the one that pulls the other back a little bit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff like that in it. And I don't see it as a feminist, chick flicky type film. Nothing like that at all. I see it as a film about friendship. Two Ridley Scott films there. You noticing a trend? I'm an absolute fanboy for Ridley Scott. So those are my 5 must-see films. Hopefully this will inspire some of you to go and see them if you haven't. Just putting this list together has made me want to rewatch a whole bunch of them. So let's have a look at this. Great to stop by real quick, but I've got lessons to teach soon and we'll have to bail. No problem. Who was that? Clan of House Cats. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. No problem. Sound like a what the fuck story? Yes, Blade Runner. What do I think of Blade Runner 2049? I really like it. I really like it. It's too fucking long. It's too fucking long. It needs 20 minutes shaving off of it. All the scenes with Kay and Joy, they need editing down massively, massively. I respect the fact that they managed to get a film out there that's nearly 3 hours of sci-fi. Like, that is such a difficult pitch in Hollywood these days. 3 hours of like cerebral sci-fi. I mean, fucking hell, they must have had to really fight to get that out there. But the problem is the film just really slows down whenever it's just Kay and Joy on screen. It just grinds to a halt, nearly, in my opinion. So whilst I think the film is awesome and it's beautiful, and if you like Blade Runner, you should definitely see Blade Runner 2049, I think it's too fucking long. I'd love to see a director's cut of it that's actually... I can't be the only man out there who likes Thelma and Louise, surely. I'm glad to know there's at least one other man out there who enjoys Thelma and Louise like I do. Okay, what do you think of the new Dune movie? I loved the new Dune movie. I thought it was awesome. Really enjoyed it. I got a feeling, and I don't know what, I'm not basing this on anything, but I've got a feeling that one of the next 2 films will be the best film out of those 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to make 3 Dune films, and I've got a feeling that 2 or 3 will be the best. I don't think the first one that we've seen will be considered the standout. You know, like how Lord of the Rings has Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King. I think it's fair to say that Fellowship of the Ring is not the best out of those 3, yeah? And I think that Dune's going to be the same. I think the best is yet to come with Dune. But the first film was awesome. I saw it on X Plus, you know, like it's not IMAX, but it's a big screen, like a floor to ceiling screen. And I was a little bit ill when I saw it. I had a little bit of a fever and that, and it was like a transcendental experience. It was like doing DMT. Like seeing that sandworm on a floor to ceiling screen when you're a little bit ill and you're tripping a little bit on a fever. It was like, I was like, oh. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. But like I said, I think the best is yet to come. I think the first film was so successful and so well received that it's like the gloves are off now. I think they're really going to go out there with it on the next two films. I like the Kay and Joy scenes. Each to their own. Each to their own. This is the beauty of music and film and art and all that shit. We can sit here and chat and debate about it all night. It's good, isn't it? I felt the same way. This is a build-up for sure. Have you seen Collateral? Collateral, right. Michael Mann is a fucking phenomenal director. Fucking phenomenal. And it's frustrating that he hasn't made more films. He's made some absolute belters, don't get me wrong. Heat, Last of the Mohicans, The Insider, Collateral. But man, I just, he's getting on a bit now. I mean, he's in his 80s now, I think. So I don't think we're going to be seeing loads more films from him, unfortunately. But Collateral is a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. One of my I think I probably like Tom Cruise in that more than I do any other film he's done. I think he's a fantastic bad guy. Fantastic, because he's a bit mental in real life. And he clearly like is able to sort of channel that in his performance. Like, yeah, Collateral's awesome. Sandworm Fever Dreams. Do you know what? I reckon that's a song title. Sandworm Fever Dreams. What do you think? I might call my next song that. Sandworm Fever Dreams. Right, let's tick the must-see films off the to-do list. Okay, story time. So, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the channel before. Have I mentioned this? Let me think. So, part of the reason I'm in this mess, by this mess I mean I'm a filmmaker by day, I'm sort of a guitar YouTube person by night, like a shit Batman. Part of the reason for that is my dad's a musician, is still actively a performing and gigging musician. And the story time I wanted to share was a video clip that just came up the other week of my dad's band, one of my dad's old bands from the 90s, the Generators, they were called. And I don't know, those of you watching from the UK, I don't know if you would remember a chain of stores called Virgin Megastore. But basically, Virgin Megastore was the UK equivalent of like Tower Records in the UK, in the US. So Virgin Megastore was where you went to get all your music, DVDs, back when we used to actually buy music. Many a weekend spent in Virgin Megastore when I was a teenager, flicking through CDs, picking CDs just based on the album art. I mean, fucking hell, like, imagine doing that now. That does not happen now, okay? So Virgin Megastore was like the place. There was hundreds of them up and down the UK, right? That was the place you got your music from. And last week, a video clip surfaced on YouTube of my dad's band playing in the main head Virgin Megastore in Bristol in 1994, bizarrely. I'd totally forgotten about this. But my dad's band at the time, the Generators, were launching their EP, and as part of the deal, they closed down a Virgin Megastore and did a gig in there, which is like amazing, like unheard of, like just the most awesome thing. I was 8 years old at the time, and I remember feeling like I had a celebrity for a dad. I was like, oh my God, this is like, no one at school is going to believe this. So I thought I would just show you guys the video clip from 1994 of my dad's band, The Generators. Oh man. You are gonna have to forgive the audio quality and the video quality, because this is, after all, 1994 we're talking about. Let's pause the ambience. The Cosmic Star of Rock and Roll, that's what this song is called. You may have to turn up your audio a little bit because the recording is fairly quiet. My dad's the singer, I should probably point out at this stage. There he is. He's a lot shorter than me, so that's good, isn't it? You don't want to be shorter than your dad. Let me see if I can remember the band name, the names of the band members. So it's kind of like a retro rockabilly type deal. So this is in a massive Virgin Megastore. This place was 3 levels. It was huge. It was massive. There was loads of people there. So we've got Wayne on guitar. I think it's Vince on bass. And I think Barry on drums, I think. Bearing in mind I was 8 years old. This is 1994. My dad, Will Grealish on vocals. The production quality sounds really... It doesn't sound bad, does it? For like a camcorder from 94. I mean, it's like I was saying to... somebody nearly walked in front of the camera, and do you see that? Look, let's go back. Hang on. There's always somebody in there. There's always one. Here they come. Whoa. Fuck's sake, there's always somebody in there. I was stood behind the person filming this, so little 8-year-old me is stood behind the camera in this video. So there we go. That's my dad's band, The Generators, doing a gig in the Bristol Virgin Megastore in 1994. And that, like I said, this clip just popped up on YouTube out of nowhere last week. My dad sent it to me. I was like, no way. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Willie Grealish. Right, let's get the ambience going again. So what do we think of that, huh? Let's tick off the old story time. And then we will move on to Ask Me Anything. I mean, I've already answered quite a bit of the chat, I know. I probably should have, like, saved some up for the end. Jimi Hendrix has subscribed to the channel, apparently, I've just read. without axe effect. I've always wondered how to pronounce your last name. Glad I was completely up. I've had that my entire life. Camaraderie McDermott. I have had that my entire life, so don't worry about it. Nobody ever gets my name right on the first go. It's Grealish. Grealish. Everyone always says Grealish, but it's Grealish. Or Relish, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever variation you want to come up with. What's some of your favourite albums? From Jared Camden. Oh man, that's going to be tricky. I think what I will do, I'll just get my Spotify up, because here's the problem, right? I mean, lots of people say this, but trust me, I really mean this. I listen to everything. I'm not particularly married to one genre of music when it comes to what I listen to. When I write music, it's either like spaced out ambient stuff or nasty downtuned metal. But when it comes to listening to music, I listen to absolutely everything. So favorite albums, I mean, stuff that just pops into my head is stuff like Organic Hallucinosis, Decapitated. For my money, the best death metal album of all time. Nothing has come close since, not from Decapitated or anybody else. If you want to listen to the bleeding edge of musicality and what's like technically possible with just 4 band members, you know, with just a guitarist, a bassist, a drummer, a singer. If you want to hear the bleeding edge and the limits of what's possible with that setup, Organic Hallucinosis by Decapitated, there you go. You can't take it any further than that. Like, it's just mind-blowing. Like, I just, yeah, the stars aligned for them on that album. For those of you who know Decapitated, like, they're a Polish death metal band, and they are the unluckiest band in the world. They have had so many horrific things happen to them. Bus crashes, members dying, getting screwed over by the record label, but they are still going. They're coming to Bristol in the next few months. I've seen them live so many times. So Organic Hallucinosis, Decapitated. Living with the Law, Chris Whitley, which is kind of like, I'd say it's hard to classify. I guess if you had to classify it, you'd call it like rock, or like a blues rock, country rock type album. But every song on it is beautifully done. Chris Whitley was basically a homeless heroin addict for years, but wrote incredible music, and then struck it lucky with like one single, and then had a career out of nowhere, basically. I think it was like the late 80s, early 90s. Died too young, again, like a lot of them do. But the songwriting is perfection on that album, Living with the Law. Beautiful singing that like gives me goosebumps. Like, I've listened to Chris's like acoustic stuff, and I just, you know, like he's probably one of the main vocalists who can make the hairs on my arms stand up, you know, and give you chills and that type of thing. Like, amazing. What else? Ghost Reveries, Opeth. True story this, my first proper job when I was a teenager, my first full-time job anyway, it involved 4 buses, 2 buses there, 2 buses back, 4 convenient buses. And Ghost Reveries, Opeth, got me through that time, that album. You know, Opeth, like one song is like 10 minutes. So a bus ride could be like 2 songs, potentially. But again, like for my money, Ghost Reverie's Opeth, there is not a single duff track on that album. It's perfection from second one till the last beat of music on it. It's just, it's a complete experience. That it's not just a collection of songs thrown together. It is an end-to-end experience, in my opinion, anyway. Decapitated crushes so hard. The right hand on that guitarist is insane. Yeah, Vog, the guitarist. I mean, I saw Decapitated. Let me think. Last time I saw them was with Lamb of God, and they upstaged Lamb of God. For my money, they supported Lamb of God, and I would not want to follow Decapitated. Decapitated are the last band on earth I would want to follow. Put it that way. You'd have to be fucking mental to have them supporting you. In terms of just pure, tight musicianship, they was just the best live band I've ever seen, just purely in terms of like being note perfect and beat perfect. Like the tightness of it. It's almost like a physical assault, like Decapitated live. It reminds me of the way Fear Factory sound on an album, but live, it's that fucking good. Do you like Devin Townsend? I recently listened to his concert recording of Deadhead at the Royal Albert Hall. It's insane. Fucking love Devin Townsend. Devin Townsend was actually the inspiration for me to start writing and playing in non-standard tunings. And now I don't write or play anything in standard. Nothing. Like even my 6 strings are all drop D flat or drop C sharp even. You know, I mean, I know that's like not crazy. But Devin Townsend, like his commitment to open C tuning, like he only plays in open C tuning, and he freely admits that he can't play shit in standard. That was so inspiring to me, because it was like I was waiting for somebody to say that that's okay. Do you know what I mean? Because like I've always found it hard to get inspired playing in standard tuning. I've always, right back to being a teenager writing stuff, I find it far easier to be inspired playing with open tunings. And so watching like seminars he's done and interviews and all that, he's got such a great way of being interviewed, you know, got such a nice way about him, just very articulate, intelligent, very sensitive person. He was the inspiration for me trying open tunings. I did try open C on some 6 strings I had, which is the tuning Devin uses, but I couldn't get it to sound anything other than really happy, which annoyed me. Like I need things to sound predominantly quite sad. Like that's my baseline. Like if something sounds kind of sad, that's a good starting point for me. I can build on that. You know? Whereas for me, maybe I was doing it wrong. Maybe I wasn't taking full advantage of the tuning. Open C, because it's like a major chord. It's tuned to a C major. Everything sounds really happy to me, and I couldn't get like the brutes. You know, I couldn't get anything to sound nasty in the way that I wanted it to in open C. He manages it somehow. He wrote God knows how many strapping young lad records in open C, which is some of the most brutal stuff. But me personally, I couldn't get my head around it. There's an album of Devin Townsend's that nobody listens to for some reason. Not even the Devin fans seem to bother with it. But he has an album called Ghost. And it's an album just of chilled stuff. So like ambient, acoustic-y. There's no heavy songs on it. But for me, that's one of his best albums. It's certainly one of my most favourite albums he's done. It's absolutely beautiful. Like there's flute on it and all sorts of crazy shit, you know. But if you like Devin, I would seriously recommend checking out Ghost. It's a beautiful album. I think there's a YouTube performance of it somewhere where he plays the whole thing as well. Incredible, absolutely incredible. What is your favourite Devin Townsend project song? Oh God. Things Beyond Things, probably. Without the horrible fucking scream at the end of it that for some reason he felt the need to put in, just completely fucking ruins the experience of listening to the album. But anyway, Things Beyond Things I would say for. Reyes World TV with the $4.99 donation. Thank you very much. Hey, been a fan for a while. Love the content and playing. Just curious, what's your favourite guitar shape? Much love from the USA. Much love to you, my friend, from the UK. Thank you so much for the support and the donation. I don't know if you were here for the start of the stream, but I know you have been watching the channel for quite a while. At some point, go back and watch the start of the stream where I talk about the subscriber thank you, because there's some important stuff in there. Favorite guitar shape? Well, that's a tricky one. Now, if we're talking about a stage guitar, if we're talking about playing stood up to an audience, it's got to be the Flying V, right? It's got to be. And that's any of them really. Like, you know, I know a lot of people don't like the Gibson Flying V because it's all rounded, like it's like for health and safety, it looks like it's been rounded off. Any of it, from the Gibson stuff to the Jackson stuff to the Solar stuff, that's my favorite stage performance shape. In terms of like a comfortable ergonomic shape, it's probably this. It's probably Leggeter's Ninja shape. Because it's just so thin and rounded off. You see the contours and that there? It's so comfortable and light. It's just, for something about their 7-string necks and body shapes feels like it was designed for me. It just, you know, I feel completely at home with this shape of guitar for some reason. That's probably why I've got like 4 Leggeters here. But thank you very much for the donation and for your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Him being Canadian on top of all that makes me humble, being a fellow Canadian. Here's a little known fact. I have family in Canada. My mum's side of the family, all of them nearly live in Vernon, a small town called Vernon in British Columbia. So I got a couple of uncles there. I've got a grandmother there. I've been there, not recently, but I went there, last time I went there I was maybe 9 or 10. And man, you guys have got a beautiful country. Wow. I mean, I was there for nearly 3 weeks. I went to the Rockies, drove into the Rockies and stayed there for a few days. We nearly made it to Toronto, but we didn't. We had to cancel it for some reason. I can't remember, but that was a shame. We nearly made it there. Like, we nearly made a trip there, but lovely people. You guys, for some reason, seem to really like the accent, the British accent. So that got us treated all right. But beautiful place, Canada. I'd love to go back. I'd love to go back sometime soon. I'm 100% in agreement of things sounding happy and it just pissing me off. It's like, I don't have anything against things sounding happy, but not all the time, because that's not life. You know what I mean? There has to be the light in the dark, and I couldn't get there with OpenSea. I couldn't get there. Do you have any advice for being nervous playing in front of people? I don't think I do have any advice, no. I can tell you what my experience has been with being nervous playing in front of people, and that is, it never goes away. Okay? It's never going to go away. So I think the best thing to do is to recognize that it's never going to go away, accept the fact you're going to be nervous playing in front of people, but don't let that stop you. Just do it anyway. I have this saying, the people who know me, like my girlfriend and that will tell you, which is shit yourself and do it anyway. All right? It's perfectly fine to be nervous, and if I was shitting myself doing tonight's live stream because I haven't streamed in over a year. But just set it to one side, you know, like, yeah, okay, I'm shitting myself, fine. I'm gonna crack on anyway, I'll do it anyway, see what happens. You know, you might be okay, you might not, but I think that's the important thing. Like, I've been full-time at my film production business for coming up on 10 years. It's going to be 10 years in the new year that I've been doing film production. And I still get nervous before every shoot, no matter how small or big, even if it's just a basic commercial for a local business or something like that. I still get nerves the day before. 10 years I've been doing this. I've fucking made hundreds of commercials. I've made like 5 films. I've traveled Europe, the States, and I still get nervous, right? So it's never gonna go away. That's what I think anyway. I'm never gonna be fully, totally relaxed before either making films or performing or anything like that. Like, you're always gonna shit yourself. But like I said, I think the important thing is don't let that stop you, yeah? It's very easy to give into it and say, no, not today. No, I won't do that. Like, and I've done it, I'm guilty of it, you know? I've put off doing this stream like fucking 2-3 times, but that's the deal, man. That's been my experience of it anyway. So, awesome, man. I'm also from BC, and I could say it's the most diverse area I know. Yeah, definitely. That was my experience as well. I become total shit when I play for people. Yeah, I think you need to do it more. You know, like, we all do that. We all play something perfectly, then hit record and our fingers fucking fall off, you know, and then we rehearse perfectly and then 2 people walk in the room and we go to bits. You know, I've found that only improves with doing it more often, unfortunately. It's like time on the playing field, you know, it's like getting numb to it in a way. Are we going to see any Ibanez guitars on the channel? Yeah, it's a good question actually, because I've owned quite a few Ibanezes. I've owned 5, maybe, at least 5 in recent years. And for some reason, circumstances have meant I've just never gotten round to doing a video on any of them. So, excuse me. That's a really good point. Is there any particular Ibanez models you would like to see on the channel? There's a question for you. Great advice, thank you, didn't think about it like that. Glad to know it happens to everyone watching me after the record. You're killing the stream, this is fun as heck. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Live streaming is fucking terrifying. I'm just gonna fucking say it. It's terrifying. There is so much that can go wrong and probably will go wrong. And I don't think you can appreciate that if you haven't done it. And this is why I have so much support and respect for Tone Wars, for Jared at Tone Wars. because he does it every week. Every week. I think he does like 2 streams a week or something like that. And he will perform songs with like his girlfriend singing and like a full-blown thing with like complex backing tracks, and fucking I just could, I'd be a nervous wreck if I had to play guitar on stream as often as he does. That's why I'm such a supporter of his channel, and I've given him shout outs in my reviews and that for like his Kemper profiles and everything. It's so frightening. I'm more frightened doing this than I would be playing a gig. I used to gig loads when I was younger, and obviously that's frightening in its own way, but live streaming is like there's nowhere to hide. Yeah? Anyone can see you fuck up. Anyone with internet access can see you fuck up. That's the horrible thing about it. And from a technical standpoint, if you're a guitar player, I mean, just to get this, just to get you to hear my sound, you would not believe how complicated that is. You would not fucking believe it. Right? Never mind the cameras, the switching, which platform you're doing it to. It's just like, yeah, it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. So I'm really glad you guys appreciate it. And I definitely should do this more often. Those are the reasons I don't. Because it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. You'd like to see some Ibanez premium models, okay? Awesome Geo model you should check out. It's got a roasted maple neck. They have some crazy tops, stainless steel frets and all. Yeah, I mean, I'll try and pick one that's affordable, like semi-affordable, you know, like not the cheapest tat, but you know, like I'll try and pick one with like specs you'd actually want for a price that you might actually be able to afford. You know, that's what I'm trying to do with all the guitar reviews at the moment. 100% agree on the streaming thing. I've been acting like an idiot on purpose to get all that anxiety out of my system. It's fucking just, it's brutal. It's really brutal. It's really brutal. I was thinking this the other day about people who stream themselves who play video games. So, you know, there's a whole industry built around people playing video games on stream, yeah? And I like a bit of gaming, yeah? I play Apex, I play Battlefield, all online, and I really enjoy it. It's fucking hard, but I enjoy it. And I was thinking the other day, when I was thinking about doing this stream, I was playing on my PlayStation the other day, and I was thinking, man, if I knew there was like people online watching me do this right now, I would go to shit. Like you know, like I can barely be good at the games as it is these days, especially battle royales like Apex and stuff like that. Like, it's hard enough as it is. Never mind if I was doing it in front of an audience of people online. Like my playing would just go to total shit. So yeah, it's I don't think you can appreciate just how terrifying and difficult streaming is until you've done it. Even if you just do it on like your phone or something, just do a basic live stream. So I think that's going to round off the Ask Me Anything. So we will mark that off as done on the agenda. And we're going to get to the bit I've been dreading the most, where I'm going to try and play you my new single that I'm going to be releasing soon as like a finisher before we say good evening. So, yeah. I guess let's get this over and done with. The sad thing is that this song isn't even that new. This song was written like last year. I mean, obviously, like it's taken time to record it and all that, and my bass player Rich does play bass on it and everything, so you know it takes time. But this ain't a song that was written like last week or whatever. I've had plenty of time to do my homework on this, and yet I still feel unprepared. Let's at least make sure we're in tune. That's probably a good starter. I should have chosen the guitar with an Evertune bridge, shouldn't I? Never mind, we're here now. That sounds vaguely in tune. What's this say? The new gold and purple one is sick. I'll come back to this this chat when I'm looking to get Ibanez models in, just to see what you guys are asking for here, because I'm going to forget all this. Overwatch 2 is fun. Yeah, I've been meaning to download that. That only came out recently, didn't it? I think it's only come out. I played Overwatch 1 for a bit. It was all right. I still prefer Apex for some reason. Apex is my most played game by far. Me and my girlfriend play it together. We get like a second TV set up sometimes. And she plays the Xbox and I play the PlayStation. It's like the ultimate like gamer couple. Oh my god, 100% agree. Back to the thing with gaming, I find it better to clip things to capture the lightning and a bottle stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Right, this is my new song, which I'm going to butcher for you now. This song is called Earth Eater. It's a new single. We've done the recording for it. We're going to shoot a video on it very soon. This is my first time playing it live for anybody. So please forgive me if I'm very nervous and probably fuck it up. Earth Eater. Here we go. Thank you. That is Earth Eater. Coming out soon on all major platforms, Spotify, Virgin Megastore, Vinyl, Carrier Pigeon, Telegram, you name it. So that's gonna round off this evening's stream. Camaraderie McDonald with the $13.99 donation. Thank you so much, my friend. A lovely way to end the stream. Very generous. Thank you so much. What's your band name on Spotify? That's a very good question. I probably should have said that before I played the song. My band name is Kill Deluxe on Spotify. If you search Kill Deluxe, you can find our first two singles we've done on there. There's also music videos for those first two songs we've released on my YouTube channel. And there will be a music video that I'm putting together for Earth Eater that I've just played as well. This is badass. Thank you so much. Really glad you enjoyed that song. So that's going to conclude tonight's live stream. Those of you who tuned in a little bit late, please go back. Just do me a favor, go back and just watch the first part of the stream, which is the subscriber thank you, because I make some very important statements about what your comments mean to me and the effect they've had on me and the channel. Very, very important, I think, if you're a long-time viewer of the channel or anything like that. So that's going to conclude tonight's live stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Or if you are watching this on repeat, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please chuck me a subscribe. It really does help me and encourage me to keep making content. I know I need to stream more often. I need to follow my own advice and not let the fear stop me from doing it. I need to shit myself and do it, not shit myself and then not do it on top, because then you're shitting yourself over nothing, I guess. So there we go. It's been so great chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you soon. Good night.